What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Footy with an Edge. I'm back again for another live discussion. We've been live every single day this week, and I love to be here, man. I love being with you guys just to talk through everything that's happening around, the Premier League, the world of football in general. And I guess we're also waiting to see how this game between Fulham and Palace goes, right? Let me just pull up this FOTMOB page as well. I have the scoreboard on the top right if you want to see it. But how's everyone doing, man? Really nice to see you guys. I'm just going to pop the chat out as well. And I still need to connect. Okay. Might have some issues with the chat today. Let me just take a look, make sure I can get this up. How's everyone doing? Hi, Joao. How you doing? I am just trying to get the stream to work. Properly so I can get the... Maybe I need to reach out to tech support, guys. I don't know about this. It's not looking good, boys. It's not looking good. Okay. Let me do this again. I'm sure I can figure it out. Okay. Time to reach out to tech support, boys. But how's everyone doing, man? I'm excited to be here. Good afternoon, Arav. Hi, be cool. Raphael, nice to see you again. Let me just reach out to my tech support. Okay. All right, call that Indian lad Shant. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I can get your comments up from yesterday. So that still works. Let me see how many people are live. We got 36 people live. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. So, what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about Mo Salah versus Arne Slot. And for me, maybe this is a hot take, right? I'm going to talk through the different sides of this argument, and I want you guys to stay with me, okay? First off, this is exactly the Ten Hag versus Ronaldo situation, right? 100%. There's no two ways about it. This is exactly what's happening. Let me just correct my white balance there so I'm not looking blue. Yeah, there we go. And this is exactly that same situation, right? So this Salah is to Liverpool what Ronaldo was to us. He didn't win a Ballon d'Or. He should have probably won it one of these seasons, but whatever. But my overall issue with this situation is on both sides of the coin, because I don't think Ronaldo at 37, 38, whenever he was here under Ten Hag, is not the same player that Salah is at 33 or 34, or however old he is, right? So, yeah. I'm just gonna tell you guys that Salah right now isn't as bad as people are making him out to be, but at the same time, my real read on the situation is it's not the right thing to do to come out and throw the club under the bus in a way after you have had a disappointing draw, right? So 3-3 to Leeds, you come out immediately after the game and say that. I said the same thing about Ronaldo. I was pissed at Ronaldo when he did the Piers Morgan interview, because regardless of how badly he had been treated, I still think the sort of underlying situation is that nobody's bigger than the club, right? So for that reason, that specific reason, I would say I think Salah can probably do better there, right? So that's that piece. But if we're going to be honest, about the situation the club is in right now with Liverpool. Yeah, Salah's 33, says Joao Tavares. Thank you. If we're going to be honest about this whole situation, Arne Slot was carried to a title in his first season last year. Who carried him to his title? It was Mohamed Salah, right? I think if Ronaldo was at United and he had carried us to a title, or he had carried Ten Hag to a title, and then Ten Hag was throwing Ronaldo under the bus, that would have been some crazy shit. Let's be honest. I think we would all be upset at Ten Hag if he was throwing Ronaldo under the bus after just carrying us to a title the season before, right? So for everybody that says this reminds me of Ten Hag versus Ronaldo, actually, this is nothing like that. This situation is completely unique to Liverpool because this is a guy that scored 29 goals and 18 assists in one Premier League season. You know how crazy that is, guys, in terms of goal contributions? That's absolutely insane stuff. So anyone that wants to sit here and have a dig at Mo Salah, he has been your best player in this entire Jurgen Klopp and Slot era, right? Van Dijk, criminally overrated, right? I would say Allison and Salah are the two, right? Salah at the top, Allison right after him. And then you can add like Van Dijk with Trent, with Robertson, with their midfielders, with Mane, with Firmino. So that's how I look at the tiers. Because genuinely world class, probably can't be replaced by many players in world football. That for me is Mo Salah, then Allison, and then the rest of the crop, right? So no, Kerwin, I hear what you're saying in terms of he needs to stop yapping, but like, can we just be honest about the stuff he has already done for the club? He won them a league title last year. That's only their second one in like 30 plus years. So it's not about Salah yapping because you have to realize the situation you're in. And then we get to the other stuff that's surrounding the Salah situation, which is Salah said it himself. He quoted Carragher, so I appreciate him for it because every chance Carragher gets, he loves to go and undermine Salah. He loves to go and undermine anybody he doesn't like in terms of the players because he knows that throwing a player under the bus is not as bad as throwing the manager under the bus. Throwing the manager under the bus makes it much more negative for the whole club, right? Because, he wants to get sacked, the project gets reset, and it just feels like hold on, let me see if I can get the chat up here. One second, guys. It keeps telling me it's an invalid video URL. Let me try this. Hold on. Okay, whatever. Guys, I'm having some issues with the comments on the screen. I apologize. Apologize for that. But yeah, so where were we? We're talking about Salah. I'm going to read some of your comments now. Let me get it up over here then. Bang, let's do that. Yeah, we got 61 people watching, guys. Please drop a like on the stream. We have no one here watching says nobody's bigger than the club, but these clubs have a horrible reputation at treating players. It is wrong, but I understand him. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say, right? Listen, I love that Salah came out and said that? No, I don't. But at the same time, I just think Salah is to Liverpool right now closer to what Ronaldo was before he left to Real Madrid, right? Because Ronaldo dropped a Ballon d'Or season for us, won us the title, helped us win the Champions League, let's say 2 seasons before he left. And he left an absolute legend. And for me, I think the way they are kind of throwing him under the bus, because I'm just looking at that squad and saying, could you not put Curtis Jones on the wing and ask him to do a lot more of the defensive work? The problem they have is they have purchased all these new shiny toys in what's it called in in Salah, not Salah, in Wirtz, in Isak, and all of these new players that they've purchased, and they need to fit them into the team. So in that case, they shouldn't have given Salah the new contract, right? So I feel like the club has a lot of ownership to take. It's not just Slot. So I'll be honest there. The club has to take a lot of ownership for what's going on. And this is the problem. Bruno says this is another Ten Hag versus Ronaldo scenario. No, bro, it's worse than Ten Hag versus Ronaldo, because Ronaldo came here when we were, let's be honest, shit, right? He came back here when we were shit. He had a good first season, and after that, he kept losing the ball a lot of the times, right? Let's not do revisionist history here. When he was here, he wasn't the Ronaldo that we remembered. He wasn't the Ronaldo from Real Madrid. He wasn't even the Ronaldo from Juventus. He was getting old, and he wasn't giving us certain things that we wanted to see from on the pitch. And fair enough, like Ronaldo's allowed to have a crash out, but I didn't like the way he quit, because it's not like we were like, going for the league or something and he got dropped on the way to doing that. He just threw his toys out the pram in the worst way possible by speaking to Piers Morgan. I actually think the Salah versus Liverpool thing is more reasonable from Salah, because guys, I can't stress this enough. 29 goals and 18 assists in one Premier League season. This guy, how many is that? That's 37 goal involvements. No, 47 goal involvements in a 38 game season. Joao Tavares says Palace goal. Let me take a look at this. Maybe I can pin the. Let's go to FOMOB. Oh yeah, Palace scored. That's not good for us, guys. Not good for us. Let me just load this match. Okay. For some reason, this is not working today. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I'm not trying to leave dead space here, but okay. What are we talking about? Yeah. So for me, I think it's very much a double standard, because when Ronaldo came out and did his thing, a lot of people were going at Ten Hag, but I think, me, for example, I felt like Ronaldo was actually in the wrong there, right? It was you can't just shit on the club that kind of gave you your career. And in Salah's case, I actually think it's less severe than the Ronaldo situation. So for me, all the people that are like Salah out because of this happening, and we know Carragher's going to come out and say that, it just hits me the wrong way in some scenarios, right? I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me read some of the comments here. Boom. Let's get it up there. Joao Tavares says perhaps it takes a bit of pressure for us. We can still reach sixth. If Salah had a British passport, would he be receiving this treatment? There's something to be said about foreign player treatment. No, absolutely. That's a good point. Interview with Piers was inexcusable, but it let a lot of cats out the bag in terms of the state of the club. No, I get you, Bruno. I'm just trying to say the way Ronaldo went about that interview was very, very petulant. There's no other way to say about that. Like, it's like essentially somebody who came to play football, right? And they brought their own ball from home. Like, you're playing a five-a-side game with some kid who brings the ball every time. And just because he's not scoring the goal or you're not passing the ball to him, he just takes the ball and goes home. That's what it struck me as, right? It wasn't a constructive, like, guys, can you please pass me the ball so that I'm also more involved in the game and I'm also having more fun? That wasn't it. It was more petulance. So That was my issue with the Ronaldo situation. Now, can you say Salah is being petulant here? I think so. You can say that, and that's fair to say. But I'm just saying this is actually not as bad because that guy won them the league last year. 47 goal involvements. Yeah, Palace leading. I saw that. Let's see. Palace are 2-1 up in the 90th minute. Gahey scored in the 87th minute. Assist by Yeremy Pino. I didn't actually see the game, guys. I'm sorry. I'm too busy talking about Slot here. Slot and Salah. But on balance, looks like Palace deserve to be winning. What did Be Cool say? Okay, if Salah doesn't score, he offers nothing, and it was the defensive work rate of Nunes, Diaz, and Szoboszlai that covered for his lack of work rate. No, I agree. But still, dude, like you could have all the work rate in the world. You could have the hardest working players, but 29 goals and 18 assists. I keep coming back to that. 29 goals and 18 assists. Listen, we were celebrating Thierry Henry for getting 20 goals and 20 assists. This guy got 9 goals more and just 2 assists less than Henry in that season. How is that not just like one of the greatest Premier League seasons of all time? Come on. I agree he had a low expected assists. So, a lot of his assists did come from like players overperforming on their finishing. But like the nuance there doesn't necessarily matter that much at the end of the season when you have put those numbers on the table. If we're talking middle of the season and saying, okay, his numbers are gonna catch up to him, that's a different story. But a completed season, you have those numbers, it literally doesn't matter, right? If Palace draw, we're clear in 5th by beating Wolves, but that'll put pressure on us and we'll draw or lose. So I guess it's better to be 6th below Palace. Salah did the same thing with Klopp, and he also had beef with Mane. He can hold that. Wharton put on a masterclass, man. Someone's watching the Palace game, I guess. Wharton has an assist. Very nice. One shot, one assist, 2 chances created, 14 defensive contributions. Jesus. Okay, it's mostly from recoveries. And he won more than 50% of his duels. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good from Wharton. Gotta give you that. I am just... Oh. Looks like... Is this working now? Oh, there we go. Why does it say full time though? Is it full time? Nope. Okay, 94th minute, boys. Fulham and Palace. Looks like I'm getting some live support. Guys, drop a like for Shant in the chat, please. He's always helping the channel out, man. Appreciate this guy. Where's all the media outrage at Slot system? No, dude, okay. We need to talk about Slot. Okay, enough chat about Salah and what he did. Where is the Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher sit down at whatever Liverpool's training ground is called to discuss everything that's wrong about a system, to discuss why they're not winning games, to discuss everything that's wrong with the players, everything. I want to hear every single thing that's wrong with Slot right now from the mouths of Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, because Gary Neville's happy to criticize and make the club feel more toxic for the fans, but he won't do that for other clubs. He won't do that for Liverpool. He won't do that for any other team. So what the hell, man? Where's the investigation into Slot's methods, right? Where's the calling out of his tactics? Is it because Jamie Carragher doesn't want to do it? You bet your bottom dollar. Let me see. Is this now working? Okay. What was I saying, guys? Guys, we have 75 people watching. Please drop a like on the stream. And as always, the StreamYard link is open for you guys to join the call. So if someone wants to come have a chat about this this topic, and also it looks like the Palace Fulham game is about to finish. I need to fix my mic, guys. I'm sorry. I keep messing with it. There we go. What are we talking about? God, if I were Keane or Roy, I'd be going in on them. Hilarious time. No, absolutely. Video idea. Could you do an analysis of Ranić review of United and if we have changed since then? Oh, full time, guys. Fulham Palace full time. 2-1. It's not good for us. It is not looking good for us. Let me update the score here. Full time. Palace 2-1. What's the table looking like? Let me take a look at this. Okay, what I'm gonna do is move that there and have the chat. Sorry, guys, some technical issues today. But Poppy PK says, just coming here to enjoy the Liverpool downfall to the pit. Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's glorious, isn't it? Please like the stream, guys, if you're enjoying the show. And as always, the StreamYard link is pinned in the chat if you want to come have a discussion, talk about Liverpool, enjoy the downfall, all of the above. Be Cool says we just have to go for sixth. Yeah, I agree. I think fourth would be overachieving. Sixth would be us getting slightly overachieving, because I think we're looking at, what is it? I think we have a 7th or 8th place squad, and if we get 6th, that would be slightly overachieving. If we get 4th, it'd be massively overachieving. No one here watching says who gets sacked first, Amorim or Slot. I don't think Amorim is getting sacked this season. So if you think Slot can, last the whole season, then it's a question of who does better next season, right? For me, honestly, the video has been stopping a lot. Why is it stopping? The stream is live for me. Anyone else having issues with the video? Guys, thoughts? I'm not having any issues with the video, so I don't know if someone else is. Please let me know. Hopefully it's good, because it's still working for me. That's what I'm seeing from my side. Yeah. Okay. Imran says he's okay. Joao says it's okay. Barnaby McBiscuits. That's a legendary name, bro. That is a legendary name. No one here watching says nope, just ads, which is fine. Fair enough. Yeah. So what was I saying? What were we talking about? Right. So the whole slot versus Salah thing, man. I think honestly, you know what the crazy thing is, guys? Okay, I'm just gonna big brain something here. Do you guys think the slot versus Salah thing is as big a story if United lose to Wolves tomorrow? It's a question for everyone, right? Because Rishi, I had a conversation with Rishi offline, and we were talking about this. I'm actually going to put up a poll. Okay, there's a polling question for you. It's a little bit a long one, but if United lose tomorrow, does the football world move on from Salah versus Slot and talk about Amorim out instead? Because I think they do. And that is proof that United are a bigger club than Liverpool, man. I mean, I don't know how else I can put it. I'm not trying to, rile anybody up, but Salah coming out and doing this is such a huge story for one of the biggest clubs in the world. And tomorrow, if we give the bottom, like, no win team a victory, I'm pretty sure the media will just move on from this and talk about United instead, because we are always the story. No matter what happens, no matter what's going on. Yeah, Rishi says 100% they jump on Emram. United restrooms not flushing is a bigger story than anything else to do with another team. Yeah, absolutely. Samix, that's a good point. And exactly, dude, United is just a bigger team, bigger club, and this is what happens. We are just I don't know how else to put it. Like we are just the only thing that anybody wants to talk about. And listen, am I complaining about it? No, I'm not. I just wish we were better, right? Because I appreciate that the club I support is always relevant. Imagine how City fans feel, guys. Let's drop a like in the chat for City fans tears. Because nobody cares about them. They have 115 charges. They won 4 league titles in a row. Nobody cares. So, um, United is always Liverpool. Red Rebellion says we'll finish above you this season. Yeah, bro. I mean, is that not what you would expecting to do at the start of the season? That'd be my only question. And I'm not even blaming Liverpool fans for this. I just think the whole media, like every single person in media, is obsessed with United. It's not Liverpool's fault that they will move on from the Salah story if United lose tomorrow. Like literally, guys, imagine this scenario, right? We lose 2-1 to Wolves, where we play a decent game, right? Like not a great game, but a decent game. We're leading 1-0 and we concede like 2 deflected goals or something like that, right? I think everyone is more riled up for the Amram out conversation than they are anywhere near riled up for the Salah situation, even though it's only been 2 days since it's happened. No, I appreciate Red Rebellion, man. He's one of the good ones. Like he hasn't said anything that's inflammatory, so I appreciate the banter. Like, you got to be able to take some banter if you're a Liverpool fan and you're on this channel. Because let's be honest, your club is pretty bantery right now in terms of everything that's happening. And from one club that's experiencing banter for so long to another, I'll tell you, you just have to sit back and take it. Because that's what United fans have been doing for the last at least 5-6 years, right? Since Mourinho fell out with the players, or the players got Mourinho sacked, however you want to put it, to now, you have to kind of take it. RJ says, I think we're going to win. No, that's fair. I'm not saying I'm not. So I predicted I think we're going to lose because of the midfield issues. Because our squad is bare bones, man. Like, I think if you give Amram the Liverpool squad, he does much better than Slot has done this year. Yeah, Red Rebellion. What are your thoughts on Slot, man? Go on. Tell us your thoughts on Slot, Red Rebellion. I want to hear from you. What do you mean? What do you mean that he's on a United channel says it all? We want everyone to be speaking to everybody, man. Why do you want everyone to be in their own silo? They should be here. We should be talking to them. I want to hear from him what he thinks about Salah. Sorry, Salah versus Slot and Slot in general. I feel like Slot hasn't been good enough. Guys, we have a Liverpool fan in the chat, and I just want to hear from him. Yeah. Please join the live stream. Actually, join StreamYard. Let me see. Let me tag him. Come join StreamYard here. Bang. Let's get him on. I'm serious. I'm not even taking the piss. I'd love to have a conversation on this. This is the topic for today, and it would be great if you could join. Hey, Jules United TV. Nice to see you, man. No, I agreed. Listen, we can talk banter all you want, Red Rebellion, but please come join the studio, man. I'd love to talk to you about the Slot versus Salah situation. Get your honest opinion, because we're not Liverpool fans. I'm just watching from afar, and I'm curious to see how you feel about this. Yeah, welcome, Jules. Nice to see you, man. Nimesh says, I don't really feel like watching the match tomorrow because it's late here in India. Plus, every time I have watch home game late night, we lose. Yeah, I feel you, man. It's a very late game. Red Rebellion says Slot stated top 4 is the minimum this season, and that's it. There's no plans to sack him right now. No, that's fair. I'm not asking about the sack. I'm just telling you, are you disappointed? I'm just asking you, are you disappointed with what he has performed this season with the squad that he has? And my honest opinion is I think Amorim with that squad does a lot better than Slot is doing right now. Jules says, I feel Salah was way out of line. No, I hear you. Like, no player should come out and say stuff like that. But I also think people are way too quick to forget that he literally carried Liverpool to the title last year. 29 goals and 18 assists is insane work from any player. And that is something that needs a little bit more respect, you know? Best thing for any football fan is to discuss their club's problems with other club supporters, like a genuine conversation. It helps with maintaining sanity. Friendly banter is always welcome. Yeah. Red Rebellion says he's not slot out. Okay. No, but it's not about slot in or out. Give me some nuance, right? That's why I'm saying join the stream. We'll all be nice to you, man. We're not like this. If you want to go watch our other streams, I'm sure you have seen some. Nobody's here to dig you out. I think okay, Red Rebellion says Amorim does better. Are you laughing at that? Because yeah, okay. Fair enough. So you don't respect Amorim. I don't expect you to. But the issues we have at the squad, you guys don't even have 10% of those issues. Your issue is that you spent too much money. Let's see. I'm still waiting for someone to join the call, guys. So if someone does want to join the call, it's open. Bro, I love your faith in Amorim, but you're going nowhere with him. Exactly where Slot you guys are going with Slot. I mean, if we had Salah at the club, we'd be closer to a title for the last 7-8 years. You have to realize, like, listen, I love and respect Jurgen Klopp a lot. I love and respect Pep Guardiola, but yeah, I respect coaches that do stuff over a long period of time, but you have to realize you can be the best coach in the world, but if you don't have world-class players, you can't achieve the true potential as a manager. And that's not even a hot take. That's just honestly, if you don't have the tools, how are you going to play the best football, right? So as much credit as you want to give Klopp or Slot, like Salah, it carried you last year. And that's a very simple point. Okay, looks like we have some callers here. And let me just unpin the game because we don't need the game anymore. if you're just joining, guys, let me get rid of some of these things. Yeah, if you're just joining, Palace beat Fulham 2-1, and I think they are fifth. Let me just take a look at this 1 second before I get the callers in. Palace are fourth on 26 points. United are on 22 points. So if we win, we are sixth because we'll be behind Chelsea on goal difference. But we will still only be 1 point ahead of Everton, 2 points ahead of Brighton and Sunderland, and Liverpool, actually. Yeah. So very, very close league right now. Red Rebellion. If you had Salah and Virgil poisoning your team this season, you'd be relegated. Salah and Virgil both have to go, bro. Those are some hot takes. I don't know why you don't want to join the stream because I'd love to hear from you. Like in, yes, sure, bro. See you later. Let me get Be Cool to the stage. Be Cool, how you doing? Hello. Hold on. Maybe I have my headphones connected to the wrong thing again. No, I should be good. Be Cool, are you here? Be Cool to the stage. Be Cool, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. What are we talking about first? We're still talking about the downfall of Liverpool.
Yes, we are. I just want to make sure I'm not hearing an echo. Can you speak for like 10 seconds?
Hi, so Liverpool is in the mud, and this is one of
Yeah.
the best things that could happen to a United fan. I'm so happy about it, and I'm glad that this whole thing has kind of emerged at a time when United are under the cosh because this thing deservedly, it should get more attention that we do. But I think Semik said in the chat a few minutes back that a broken bathroom at United, a broken toilet at United gets more attention than a
Oh yeah,
generational head loss at Liverpool.
the chef serving Ronaldo a Coke when he asked for a water
Yeah,
gets more coverage. That's what I'm saying, right? Like it already feels like it's blown over. Right? Like there was a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of videos people that reacted to. Like we don't even have to wait till United lose to Wolves. Like
yeah,
it's already done.
yeah. I mean, they are a small club, dude. Let's be honest. Liverpool are a small club, right? And props to them. They've overachieved what their tiny little shitty city deserves. Uh, you know, I mean, they themselves claim that they're Scouse, not English, right? That's what the city of Liverpool claims. And for a city outside of England to come and win the Premier League 20 times, it's a big achievement. And
Yeah, it's
props
like
to them.
Swansea
But
getting promoted to the Premier League, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I feel that with players like Salah, right, it's a double-edged sword because I mean they've been Salah FC. Let's be fair, they've been Salah FC. Without Salah, they have no relevance. They don't win all these titles. Uh, I also think that he single-handedly had a crazy purple patch last season, and 5 months of being clutch won them the 20th title.
So sorry, Rishi. I just want to say the tech support has come through and we finally have comments live on the show. Shant, you're the GOAT, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. He also got the game to work earlier, so that's the reason we had the score on the screen. But now I can have
I absolutely love this new UI, the new graphics on screen, the way everything has been put together. I say this to Shant all the time. He's done an amazing job, and it makes me feel good when I look at the screen. Of course, I would get to see my own flesh and blood earlier, and that was reason enough to be happy. But now I know that everyone is, looking at it and seeing it as a like a professional setup, right? So it feels good. The only
it's very
drawback I
nice.
feel
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
only drawback I feel is that I don't see Shant as much on the stream now because he's always in the background. He's doing tech support. He's
free
he's the
free
stage
Shant.
manager, and I would rather see him be a player.
Free Shant is what you're saying?
Yeah, free Shant, absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe he can join today. I don't know what he's got going on. It is a Sunday, Shant. I know you gotta make your Erewhon run, but maybe you can come have a chat with us, bro. Because
Bro,
we yeah.
Erewhon's going nowhere, so you might as well just come here.
Is that a play on the
Wink,
name?
wink,
Yeah.
wink, wink.
Yeah. Okay. If United don't win tomorrow, there'll be no way out for Amram. Personally, I don't want to judge Rúben until the end of the season. Yeah, I agree. Joao Tavares says free Shant. Rishi says,
Are you?
I was just now trying to convince Red Rebellion FC that this is a safe space. Well, it is a safe space. Listen, if I went to like Cop TV or whatever the hell AGT does, or like Husam's channel, like I would be sitting there willing to take the banter. Like that's how it is. And he was willing to
Yeah,
dish it out, Red Rebellions, before he left. So
yeah,
you know, look at how bad it is, guys. United fans have to sit here talk about Liverpool for them to get the appropriate coverage about this meltdown, right? Like I'm actually literally not seeing anybody else talking about it. Like there's a few Liverpool channels talking about it. Mark Goldbridge made his video on That's Football, and that was it. Like it's already
yeah.
it's already rolled over.
Rory Jennings put something out, and the title is "Should Liverpool sack Arne Slot?" Why isn't it Salah has a meltdown outside before the game or after the game or whenever the hell he gave that interview? Why is it that he's not being questioned? It's just clear, right? Like Salah, as good as a player he is, his profile is nowhere close to what Ronaldo's profile was when he had his meltdown at United,
Mm-hmm.
right? Salah's not he doesn't have the international appeal, probably, uh, I don't know,
You mean
whatever
the
reason.
stature, right? The stature at that time.
No,
Yeah.
I mean the international appeal because the man had the one of the greatest seasons I've seen in recent times, and he wasn't like even third in the Ballon d'Or,
Um.
right? So no,
Sorry, you're saying that about Salah.
I'm saying that about Salah,
Yeah.
that he
Okay.
doesn't have the international appeal. He doesn't have the weight. He doesn't have the, like in Hindi we say wazan, right? Which is that he has the stature is another word for it, I guess. What Salah did yesterday going against the club, I hope that the Liverpool fans have as much venom for him as they did for Trent, because at least Trent didn't go out and air dirty laundry when things weren't going for him. He in fact got
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid to pay them a tenner, so at least they would make something from it, right? So
Yeah.
you guys need to have just as much venom for Salah. I get it on one side that okay, Salah has achieved so much and he's done so much that maybe he's allowed that leeway,
No, but
but not
also
in
no,
public
Rishi.
though.
1 second though. I don't know if you caught the start of the stream. My
I
point
didn't.
was
I didn't.
actually yeah. So the point I made was actually Ronaldo calling out United in the way he did and the timing he did was actually worse than what Salah has done, because it's not like Ronaldo came in, won us the league, and the next season he was talking shit about Ten Hag, right? Salah won them the league last year. 29 goals and 18 assists, man.
Yeah.
47 goal contributions in 38 games is insane
Right.
work. So
Right.
Slot is happy to take the credit for Salah, right? Because
Yeah.
he's happy to be the manager who comes in and wins them the league in the first year and take all the applause that comes with it, the plaudits that come with it. And now that Salah is having a bad patch of form or something, instead of trying to figure out a way to fit him into the team and have the defensive work be done by some of the other players, like essentially he's choosing to bench Salah instead of choosing to bench Isak or Gakpo or Wirtz. Because, dude, you're telling me Salah's been bad. What have Isak and Wirtz done?
Yeah.
Right? Other than the fact that they cost them big money and they came in this season, what the hell have they done to deserve playing more than Salah? Because Salah's been bad, but he hasn't been their worst player.
See, I like I said, you can see both sides of the story, right? You can see one side being that Salah's been terrible this season, right? And he should still be afforded that grace that you are our best player. We are going to help you figure this out. But at the same time, like there's no communication. Slot isn't even talking to him apparently. That's
Yeah.
his gripe, right? So which is why I love the situation, because you could beat them with both ends of the stick.
Yeah, but my point is that first of all, there's so many Liverpool fans that are already slot out, right?
Yeah,
And that is the only reason people are taking Salah's side with this. That is my issue. That you're
yeah,
ignoring the fact that just last season he freaking carried you. So unless he's either he either deserves to be second in the Ballon d'Or and he wins you the title, or he's worthless to you. That's what that's the message you're sending, right?
yeah,
Because I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. When the Ronaldo versus Ten Hag thing happened, a lot of us felt like it was really wrong from Ronaldo's side. It was more of a crash out than anything else. Some people did support him and said, it's wrong, whatever. But had Ronaldo in the season previous made Ten Hag a freaking Premier League champion by carrying us to the Premier League title, and then had that crash out, a lot more of us would have been against Ten Hag on that decision.
yeah.
That's just a fact. So when we look at it from that lens, it's not that crazy that Salah said what he said, because let's be honest, Slot and the hierarchy, they're saving Slot by doing what they're doing here. By throwing Salah under the bus, it's a big name call. It distracts from everything. It's a distraction, even if it's for only 5 minutes. So that's my point. And listen, if you didn't think he was going to be good enough, then why give him the contract? Just let him go, right?
I mean, you just saw Red Rebellion LFC, the Liverpool fan who was in the chat some time back, right? He said Virgil and Salah need to go. I mean, just the flippancy with which it's being said, and they forget what these people have done for their club, and they would have been just irrelevant, right, in the large scheme of things.
Yeah,
And they would have just been stuck on 18. They have two titles and a Champions League because of these two players. And the way they've dismissed, it's all hunky dory. You'll never walk alone when it suits them. But when things get tough, I mean, dude, I've spent years and years defending Fred in the chat of different channels and in the comment section, till I was like literally fed up, let's say, of the dude. I've defended McTominay, I've defended Maguire, I've defended Rashford. I've defended Rashford when people have been, slagging him off like 2 years before he actually started getting bad. When he was actually a decent player, people were hating on him even back then. I was there defending them. This is what being a fan means, right? And I'm not just calling myself a big fan. I'm saying there are so many like me, so many in our fan base, and we think like we are a toxic fan base, dude. Liverpool's fan base is even worse. Look at how they treated all their legends.
yeah.
Look at
No,
what they did to Trent.
let me just take Outer Signal's statement here. He says, "Disagree, Andy. Salah's statement is crazy. Fergie used to get rid of players that grew too big an ego, bro." Let me break this down for you, right? And I respect your opinion, Outer Signal. You've been on the show many times. When Fergie was managing United, he had developed 20, 15 plus years of equity with the club, with the fan base, with everything else, right? He had developed 10, 15 years of like established success before he started throwing people out of the club because their ego got too big, right? And we were our squad at that time relative to the rest of the league was far better than Liverpool's squad is relative to the rest of the league right now, right? So for Slot to come here, for us to say, the crazy thing about what you just said is that you think Slot has the same equity as Fergie did with United, because he didn't, or he doesn't.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Right.
not.
So for Slot to come here and say, "Oh, you're not bigger than the club," bro, you have only been here for 1 year. Okay, stay in your lane. Find a way to make Salah better, because you were happy with Salah when he carried you to the title. That's the problem that I'm having. You were more than happy, having Salah just carry you in every single game,
And do
and
you
you're
want to
sitting
hear
here being
something
like, "Yeah,
crazy though? I've been looking at this slump that Salah's going through, and I remembered that back in 2022 when he first signed that new contract, right? When he signed that new contract, and I think the first 10, 15 games again he was out of form, and it looked even back then that he had tailed off after signing a new contract. But what happened after that? The next couple of years, 3 years, he's been on a crazy run, wearing golden boots and unjustifiably not placing in the Ballon d'Or, higher in the Ballon d'Or. So he's been on a generational run. So this is to be kind of expected from Salah, that after he signs a new contract, he takes it easy for a bit for whatever reason. But the way that these guys have given up on Salah, dude, if he was a United legend, there is no way he would be treated like this. No way.
Yeah.
No way. There's
And
not a
listen,
single United
listen,
legend being treated like
outer
this.
signal, I want to clarify something. Okay. Listen, outer signal, I want to clarify something. Salah's statement is crazy work. The problem doesn't start at Salah putting the statement out though. The problem starts with how they've treated him for 3 games in a row, how they've treated him even before that, right? Because he got dropped against Frankfurt and all that.
Right.
That is the problem. His reaction is not justified. He shouldn't be doing that. He should be taking the high road. But I also don't know what it's like to be a high performance athlete who doesn't drink, who has a great family life, who dedicates his entire life and body. I'm sure he drinks only a certain type of water. He doesn't even go to public and drink certain, like random water that somebody's just given him, just because that's how much he cares about his performance on the pitch.
He's
So when
1%ing
you're
that shit.
taking when you're taking care of your body that much, when you've dedicated your entire life, your prime to a club. And he said that too when he came out with his statements. He wasn't like Ronaldo calling the lunch lady out. He said, Liverpool, I respect this club. This will be the club that my kids support, and I will love this club till my dying moment, or whatever it is he said. I'm paraphrasing. The issue isn't that I agree, it's crazy to come put that kind of pressure on the club. And I disagreed with what Ronaldo had done as well. But the overall point is the way they've treated him to lead up to this moment, to force his hand to do something like this, that also needs to be called out. And for me, is more wrong than whatever Salah's just done. That's just my two
I
cents on
also
it.
think, outer signal, I also think that you say that once you allow players to get away with this kind of thing, you erode authority at the top. Absolutely, I agree with you. But it has started from the top, right? And just to add to Andy's point, it's not even that they dropped him. If he's in a bad run of form, drop him. But he said that there is no communication. He doesn't speak to me. That is what he said. And I don't think any one of us assumes that Salah's a liar. So he is telling the truth. So why is this happening? Do you not see that if the authority and the management starts treating these people in a certain way, those guys who are sitting next to Salah in the changing room, they respect the hell out of him. They're seeing the way he's being treated. They don't like it, right? And unless someone like an Isaac suddenly comes and starts firing hat tricks and winning them Champions Leagues and showing that he's the new Billy Big Bollocks in town, they're not going to look at the new top dog, right? They are going to look at the way that the existing top dog is being treated. So that's not good for squad morale either. And you can just look at the way these people are defending, dude. The way that third goal was given away, the second goal, Starks was the second goal, right? Tanaka was the third one. The Stark goal was given away. These guys were also scared. They were afraid to be away from each other. Like they wanted to be all close together, because then who do you blame if everyone is together? They had no clue what they were supposed to do. This manager has no clue what he has to do. He did not exhibit any tactical genius in his first season. Let's get it clear. Salah won the title for him. I hope on this we are all agreeing, right? And for this bald fraud to stay at this club even longer, I'm just rejoicing the fact. Like I have nothing to say against Slot. Like I will write a letter, or I'll fake Liverpool supporters club stationery, and I'll write like a letter, heartfelt letter. I'll fake like 10,000 signatures on it, and I'll send it to John Henry. I'll say, please keep Slot at the helm, because he has just won us a title. And then you cannot make the same mistake that United and Chelsea do, that you keep firing the manager. You've decided to spend 450 million on him. You have to equip him with more players. In fact, you should sign Harry Maguire from Man United and Victor Lindelof from Aston Villa. I think I'll stop just before that, because then he'll
Dallo,
know that I'm not being serious.
Dallo. Why Lindelof, bro?
That
Dallo.
Dallo, yeah, Dallo, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and just tell him that he's related to Amorim, so it'll be, you're actually making Amorim mad, so that's another incentive for them, right?
Yeah. Andy, can you? We have a new caller joining us, but his face is being obstructed by the
I'm trying to
layout. Is
fix
it
it right now
possible
as
to?
we speak. As we speak, I'm
Yeah.
trying to fix it.
Hey man,
Uh,
go on and introduce yourself. I am seeing you on the StreamYard link. I don't see your name on, so I I don't think I've seen you here. Have you been here before?
I can't hear you, Nimish.
Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, so I have a question uh, related to Virgil van Dijk. No one is questioning that the coach slot has dropped Salah, but I think you require the captain's approval, right, so, to keep Salah out of the squad. But Virgil van Dijk is also performing very poorly. So I don't know why Virgil van Dijk is being left out of the conversation and only Mo Salah is being put under the bus. Like, I don't understand that.
It's because they. I think Carragher has a decent part to play in this. That's my honest opinion. That he has always come out and thrown Salah under the bus at every opportunity he gets.
Yeah.
And whereas Van Dijk is looked at, Van Dijk comes out in press conferences. English is his first language or second language or whatever close to it. I think some of those things matter, right? Unfortunately. And I also want to Shri, how are you doing? Nice to have you back.
Hey Rishi, hey Andy.
Hey, Shri, how you
I don't
doing?
know I don't know your name. I can't see your name, but
Nimesh.
hey, how's it going?
Nimish. Oh, you're the one
Yeah,
who
it's
said you're not going to watch the late night
Yeah,
match
yeah.
because
oh no. I have
Go
a
on, Shri. How do you feel about
yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's kind of been like going kind of like unnoticed. It's not unnoticed obviously, but it's kind of being like going under the radar. And like Salah doing this now has to like push this over the top. The pressure cooker has been like sounding, and it has to explode. And like you guys were saying, Carragher's already like taken slot side. Like he already said like Salah has lost his legs, and like he's already like behind the manager.
yeah.
But I think my theory is like Salah is like doing this to get the coach sacked. You know what I'm saying? Like that is my theory, but like it's kind of like he could have done this like you know the
But
last game
Shri,
he
can
could
I be honest with you? I don't think Slot needs Salah's help.
have. That's true, but yeah, that's true, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
but
because
this could.
because here's the thing, right? He started out the season. Uh, my main problem with Slot is how cocky he is about his system, his formation, whatever you want to call it.
dude, you
Yeah,
Is
remember that interview he gave after beating Ten Hag where he was like doing that whole post-mortem of his tactics and how I can beat him and how I can do this and that.
yeah,
yeah,
Dude, that was so like he was violating the
disrespectful, man.
manager's code.
Yeah,
It was
it's
disrespectful,
disrespectful.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
massively disrespectful. But apparently he's just Dutch, right? He's just
yeah,
Dutch,
Yeah.
it's
and
like
Yeah.
the
doing
opposite of Pep. Like the opposite of Pep, where like Pep has like is like a really sore loser, and like Arnie Slot is not a like a good winner. Like just like uh
No, but
bragged
he's
up,
both. He's
bragging.
not a
Yeah,
good winner. He's not a good loser. Because
yeah,
even after he loses, he comes and says, "Oh, the team didn't send me the team sheet 3 days in advance.
yeah,
We
yeah.
couldn't
After
prepare
the
for them."
United game, we trained for Cisco
That's
all
some wild
week.
crap. Yeah, and like,
Yeah,
dude,
that was
I
funny as
don't.
well.
You need to be prepared for Rúben Amorim himself jumping onto the pitch. Okay, like that's how you need to be ready for any game that comes your way. And so it's wild stuff. Can you imagine? Okay, hold on. Can you imagine United lose to Liverpool and Rúben Amorim comes out and says, we trained for something else all week and that's why we lost?
Yeah,
Dude,
No, they'll kill
Carragher
him.
would be at Carrington refusing Amorim entry into the freaking training ground next day.
yeah. He's gonna boycott the Sky call. Like he's not gonna
Yeah.
be at the commentators box. No, like the
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
yeah. I think like he's got like that title defending champions like the Shield. Like that's why like it's like going under the radar a little bit. Like not a lot of people are like talking about it in Sky or like BBC, but I hope like this kind of like pushes it over the top, because like they've gotta we gotta move our drama to like somebody else for a minute. We have had it all year.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen though. It's not gonna happen, dude.
It's going to be back to us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But who
perfectly
will
set
win?
up. It's perfectly set up, right? Like it's happened, and we are playing tomorrow. So this could all disappear in one day.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. That you can just see the size of the two clubs when this guy has done like the most scandalous thing that's happened in Liverpool's like last 20 years history. This is definitely the biggest scandal. I don't want to hear any other way about it. And it's going to be a scandal for 2 days. Whereas when Ronaldo did that thing, if you guys remember, Ronaldo did that thing just before he went to the World Cup. Even during the World Cup, people were talking about it.
Yeah, and like he like walked off, like in that, like he walked off, like he went to the dressing room.
Yep.
Like he did that whole thing. He planned it, everything out.
People were even making stories with Bruno, right? The Ronaldo and Bruno thing that Bruno said something to Ronaldo in the dressing room, but Ronaldo didn't understand or whatever the reaction was from Ronaldo. Like they wanted to grab as many eyes as they wanted for that United and Ronaldo situation.
Yeah, man, this is great. We just have to win tomorrow so that the attention can be back on them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Imran says, I think Salah's leaving. What's the problem with second balls? Having three midfielders doesn't seem to help. I think it's Slot, bro. I don't want to hear anything else than it is Slot's fault. I don't want to hear anything. Everything United does or doesn't do is Amram's fault. Everything is Slot's fault for Liverpool. Salah, in fact, I'm going to go as far as to say I think Slot might have told Salah to put that statement out. It's his fault. I don't want to hear any other way about it, dude. It's all Slot's fault. I want to hear Jamie Carragher interviewing him. I want to hear him saying it was a big mistake to sign Slot to an extension. They should have let him go after winning the title, because that is his ceiling. And we knew Salah was going to be not as good as last year. We know Van Dijk is on the wane. Alisson keeps getting injured, so we should have sacked Slot right after the title. Is he going to come out and say that though?
But the weird thing I don't understand is Salah's still 33. That's not too old. And
I think he's 34, isn't he?
No, he was born in 92. So
okay, 33. Yeah.
So my point is, you're still young. There's no reason to, and he's on a 2-year contract if I'm not wrong. There's no reason he can't come back to his old form, right? Like he could get the goals. He could get he's never been a big assist getter, but last season he did pretty well. So he could get assists too, and he could be a big player for you. It is just that they've managed this exit poorly. Ideally, they should have let him go in the summer, and they should have gone hard for Van Dijk and a Van Dijk replacement and a Salah replacement. They got in Isaac and Ekitike, and they should have invested that money wisely. I think they didn't take the brave decision that Liverpool have been known to take in previous years. That's the problem, I guess.
I would have been happy with like what they did though, like if I were like a Liverpool fan, because like to defend like the championship, right? Like you want to defend, like Ferguson has said that like a lot of times, just like defending the championship is like the hardest thing you can do. And like that is like a great sign.
Well,
of, like,
if you ask Arteta, winning the Champions League is the championship is the hardest thing you can do.
Yeah, in 20 years we'll be talking about the same thing. Like, bro, Arteta has been like trying so hard to win.
What does he call it? Phase 6, phase 40. Arteta will be like.
Yeah.
He'll still be trying, bro.
Yeah,
he's already letting it slip. Like they're back in the City are back in the.
Dude, Arsenal fans like to celebrate the fact that they lost to PSG in the semifinals of the Champions League, and the fact that they beat Real Madrid on the way there. That's where the club is at. So I mean, I can't. They're the most. It's so funny that Arsenal and Tottenham are like the two teams in that North London derby, because both their fans are miserable. And their clubs are just banter FC all
And
the way.
Spurs
And
have
that's the
like
funniest thing. Yeah, go for it.
yeah, and Spurs have like the bigger cup, right? Like they have a European Cup, and they won
Yeah,
it
I
like
was
more
just gonna say
recently.
that. I was just gonna say that because Arsenal fans don't like they love to shit on Spurs, like, oh, we beat you 4-1 as they came to us and scored a hat trick, blah blah blah. But dude, they have the European trophy that you guys don't have. Like you have an FA Cup under Arteta after spending £1 billion.
They lost 2-1 to Villa the other day. And I have a crazy shout here. If that stuck with Emery, I think they would have already won the title in all
Rishi,
these years.
one second. Sorry, were you so happy to see Lindelof back on? Like since you mentioned him earlier, like I was like so happy to see him on the pitch. Like he came on late for Villa against Arsenal. I was like, I had a tear in my eye. He's putting on Lindelof to defend the lead
Yeah,
from like
he's
crosses.
helping us
Go
out.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I was just saying that with all this hype for Arteta, if that just stuck to Emery, because he wasn't doing too bad, right? The only thing was that he didn't have a connection with the squad because they didn't really buy him any proper players. So he was struggling with whatever threadbare squad they had, and even Arteta had to like contend with like a lot of crap players in his first couple of seasons. When they started buying him good players, when Saliba came back from that loan, that's when these people started playing well. Even Gabriel, for that matter, he was 23 when they signed him. Wasn't like pulling up any trees in defense for the first couple of years, but then one day it just suddenly clicked for him. If that's shown that much patience, you've seen that Emery is a player, is a coach who can do well with limited resources,
I
right?
also think
And
it was a little bit of like a racist thing, maybe because they didn't like the fact that he didn't speak English the way. I don't know if
I
if
think just
racist is the right
that
term.
he wasn't very PR friendly, right? Like
Not very
he wasn't
charismatic.
very
Yeah.
not very charismatic. Like Arteta's got. I wonder why Carragher doesn't speak about Arteta's looks. Maybe he's a little partial to Portuguese men. Maybe that's his type. But yeah, like Arteta also, right? Because he doesn't take shit from these guys in the press. He's like always a curt and a rude person to people who he thinks are trying to throw shade at him. Amarim's not that. He's like being polite and kind. And these guys, even I was so disappointed by Carl Anka the other day, like the kind of questions he was trying to ask and trying to be a leading, like the line got blurred between United fan and shitbag reporter. So I was very disappointed by him. Like I actually rate Carl Anka and like the other guys on top of the Devils, but like very disappointed with the direction that the Athletic has taken
I
in
didn't.
Central.
I didn't have a problem with what like Carr was trying to ask. Like the like when he went off, like he said because like Amorim had just said like I don't know, right? And then Carl asked you you said I don't know a couple of times, um, but you do know what you're working on, and like he couldn't ask the question, and the guy cut him off. I think the press guy cut him off, but I
Yeah,
didn't
for
have a
me
problem.
that was a very insinuating question. I get it personally. You don't think you had a problem with that. Yes, Ayush, I mean the same. I don't know thing. I think Anka knew exactly what he was asking, and I think the press officer at the interview or at the press conference
Yeah,
knew exactly where he was going with that, and they were right to shut it down. I just feel that if
yeah,
that's what I said, right? Like if I'm a fan, dude, I will never ask Amarim a question which might possibly throw shade at him, right? Which because I will never ask him a question related to Menu because I know it's a stick that is used to beat him with unfairly. So I
no,
would
like
never ask. But he's
I
also a
like
journalist. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's also a journalist. So the lines are blurred over there.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I think like the main question he didn't ask. The main question like Simon Stone asked, but like,
The
but
follow up, the I don't know thing was
yeah,
asked
the
by
call, yeah,
Anka.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't get a chance to see like what the question was actually gonna be, but like you said, right? Like, as a journalist, right? Like, it's his job to ask, the tough questions, but like usually Carl asks like the good questions. I would say like mostly because like
Right.
all the like Simon Stone and those guys are like just asking like stupid. normal questions.
Right. Right.
But
I actually
yeah,
don't know a
I
decent.
think. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. No, I'm sorry for interrupting. Please continue.
No. I just thought like he was like in a bad mood, and like it just. I wouldn't be even like surprised if like Amorim like called, asked them, apologized after that. He probably would do that. Like the way he speaks. I wouldn't
Right.
even be surprised if he apologized after like losing his temper like that. Go
Right.
ahead. You're trying to make a point.
Uh, yeah, it's like more of the same. I was just looking at how the press treats us and how these ex players also treat us. I don't know if you got a chance to look at the recent reports that came out regarding the players are not happy with how the ex players comment on the squad, and they comment on the players and the way they play, because they feel like it's a lot of unfair criticism and they are tired and fed up of it. And they have, if I remember correctly, guys in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think they've said that we don't want to be interviewed by any of the ex players anymore. I guess
Yeah,
specifically they mean people like Roy Keane and Gary Neville and Scholes. I
that
don't
makes
think
total
Scholes does anymore.
that makes total sense. You guys were talking about it, I think, like a couple of days ago. Like
Yeah.
they are always like talking, especially Scholes. Roy Keane, at least I could like tolerate, but like he's not making any good points. But at least I can tolerate Roy Keane. But like Scholes is like the worst one, I think. Like they're always like talking about like how good we were and all that crap. Like they're like, I totally understand the player's point of view. Like, why would they talk to them? They're like trashing them every chance they get. It's like, yeah, it's like it's not even like pointing out like certain things. They're just talking about like intensity and all that, right? Like it's just like
It's such shallow analysis, man. It's all about
Yeah.
back in my day, we were so much better. Like it's just bullshit, man. And you look at every single one of these ex players; they are shit, terrible coaches, terrible coaching career, right? And I don't need to. I'm sick of having to justify every time I talk about these guys. Oh, great players, they're legends. I don't need to say that every single time. I'm criticizing them as a pundit, and they are garbage as a pundit, right? They are legends, and listen, Roy Keane was appreciated when he was playing for the club. Paul Scholes was appreciated when he was playing for the club. We don't need to say that every time. I can criticize them for their media career because they are bang average. In terms of media career, they're not even League 2 players. Okay?
Yeah, that's
So
who we have a problem with. Yeah. Go ahead.
In fact, Andy and I were
guys-
discussing that the best United pundit out there is Ian Wright.
Yeah.
He's the one who makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ayush, can you why are you not on camera today, bro?
I am not in a state to be on camera, but just wanted to join quickly and talk about this I don't know question. And the only thing I wanted to say is that that particular question, like when you look at Amorim and the way he speaks, it's not that he's refusing to answer a question and just giving you an I don't know. He follows it up with a proper like diplomatic answer that we'll have to see what happens next. We'll see when the next game comes in, how the games progress. We'll see how the players are doing in training and stuff like that. So he's not actually refusing to answer any question. It's just a phrase that he leans on because English is not his first language. Even having been born in India, having studied English since I was born, when I speak with people who are native English speakers here in the UK, in many conversations where I don't have the same amount of pressure as Amarim has. And I still have found myself leaning on certain words or certain phrases too much just to make conversation. And that is the thing that happens with Amrim as well. When he's saying, I don't know, it's not that he's refusing to answer a question. And obviously, he's not obliged to answer each and every question directly. Like, he's not supposed to give out every information that the reporter wants, right?
It's like a filler,
in
you're
that
saying.
In that environment, Carl Anker going and asking that question, I thought that was very insensitive. And it was, if it was done by mistake as a misunderstanding, then it's fine.
No,
But
I think like he
I
didn't
think
get
if it was
a
a
chance.
mock, if it was done to mock him into like making a kind of image that he's refusing to answer questions, which I think that's what
No,
their
I
No,
don't.
it's the
impression was.
opposite. Listen, hold on.
No,
It's
I
the
don't.
I
opposite with
would,
Amarim. He's been too willing to give up information.
yeah,
And them putting up this image of Amarim saying it's an agenda, right? It's
yeah,
screams
exactly.
of an agenda, and I
And it
don't
was
appreciate
immediately
that.
picked up on Twitter. It was immediately picked up on Twitter that the manager is refusing to answer questions. He says, "I don't know," and he gets frustrated when journalists ask him to give details.
I don't
And
think
it was
Carl
like,
has a malicious intent, guys. Like
I
I
don't
Rishi,
think
you're
like
think
muted.
so. I don't think he may have just been. Carl himself may have been frustrated because he wanted more information, and he did not understand
yeah,
that this particular use of a particular phrase is probably just his limitations of the language.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I
I
think
think you're right on
I think
that.
it was
Yeah.
very insensitive to ask that question.
No, can I also just say, Slot comes out and says much more wild stuff, much more wild stuff, and I think we could agree that maybe Dutch people speak more and better English than people in Portugal in general. Like I don't know if maybe I don't know too much about those two countries, but from my understanding of like how European countries operate, I think like Dutch is like English is spoken much more commonly in
Yeah,
the Netherlands than it is in Portugal, right?
it is.
And
Yeah.
so when he comes out and says stuff, nobody's questioning what does he mean by that, because he came and said he was like, oh, the teams are not playing along the ground, so he was taking a dig at us playing long balls, basically, like trying to accuse us of playing Sunday league football, and that's completely fine. But the second Amarim comes out and says one word wrong about Kobe Menu, in fact, dude, let me just deep this right now. The Kobe Menu story is bigger than the Slot story, Slot versus Salah story. How the hell is that happening?
It will definitely become
It's
bigger
true.
when, if suppose, if I really hope we do not lose tomorrow, but if we do, the Kobe Menu story will be tied in with this Salah incident, and there will be people demanding that Kobe give such an interview as well. That's
Yeah.
what the narrative will become. I'm
You know
I'm
he's
I'm
starting
pretty sure
tomorrow though.
that's what's gonna happen if we lose tomorrow.
I think he's gonna start tomorrow, Kobe.
I mean, he
We've
has
said
to.
it
Who
many
else
times.
has energy?
We've said it many
Who else
times.
has the
I
legs
don't.
now?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Rishi?
We've said it many times before. We've said that Kobe has to start tomorrow because they played too many games back to back. I have a feeling that Amarim still starts the same two midfield duo. He plays them for the first half, and if they can't get the job done in the first half, then he brings the other two, and then he plays more conservatively after halftime. That's my guess.
Yeah. Well, Be Cool says a lot of people speak English as a second language in Portugal. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to dig out Portuguese people. That's not my
No, no,
goal.
no,
I'm
no.
just saying. Yeah.
I have been to Portugal. I've spent 7 days there. I've like working on a small college project with a resort, like management at a resort. They don't have the fluency that even we as Indians have.
Yeah.
So
No, but it's a
it's not at
comparison to
all
the Dutch.
close
I was just comparing it
compared to Dutch.
to
I've been
Dutch
to
versus.
Netherlands as well for a week. It's
Yeah.
nowhere close to the fluency that the Dutch have.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Be cool. I didn't mean that people in Portugal can't speak English. Sorry, don't take it the wrong way. I just meant if you took an average person from some country, compared it to an average person from another country, it's the level of fluency. That's just what we're talking about. And I think Be Cool has been on the stream before, and you speak perfect English, so that's not the problem. I'm not trying to make it like some agenda against Portuguese people. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
like talking about like averages. Yeah.
yeah. And listen, speaking of speaking English and how we speak English, Indians get made fun, the most fun made of them for their accent and like shaking the head and all that. There's a lot of subtle racism everywhere against Indians. So I hear you. Yeah, look at that. Nimesh and Rishi giving us
They did the same thing.
Yeah. And Shri and Ayush, I'm sure off screen we're doing the same thing as well.
Yeah.
But Outer Signal, how we doing, man?
Andy, I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I am well, man. I'm well. Go on. You had you were talking to us earlier about the slot thing.
About
What is your thoughts
yeah.
on the legends, on the United legends?
Oh, okay. On the United Legends, I tend to agree, and I think this is something I've mentioned on this stream before. Rishi was talking about how there's reports of the players saying they don't want to have interviews, engagements anymore with our ex-players, and I tend to agree with them. Um, Fergie used to not to always, harken back to the glory days, but I do think it was an important aspect of what Fergie achieved. We had a very strong siege mentality. He did create this sort of atmosphere around the club. If a journalist speaks badly to him, I know it took a while, he built up his power, but they're out. They don't come into the next press conference. If a player steps out of line, they're out. If someone is speaking bad about you in the press, you lock them out. And I do think we are in this awkward place because those guys are the guys who achieved success. And so the media will always, always look to them to give an opinion. But the truth is, it's more harmful than helpful at this point. And I think it's an interesting point is that if you look back to like the Liverpool cycle, back in like the 80s, 90s, when they went through their period of just being terrible, if you actually look at the pundits that were in the English media at the time, it's a bunch of old like ex-Liverpool legends like Alan Hansen, Kevin Keegan. Well, not even Kevin Keegan. What's the name of that? Dalglish, who later came back as a manager. But these were the pundits, and so they always had the most ridiculous standards for a team that was not capable of doing what Liverpool teams of the past were capable of doing. And I think we're in a very similar situation, and it scares me, to be honest.
Yeah, but Outer Signal, they didn't have social media back then, right? So they weren't doing the overlap fan debate. It was around the game finished. They did the commentary. Maybe people heard it on radio. That was it, right? Now you have the problem I have, Outer, is we're sitting here having this conversation in one corner of YouTube. This is not the conversation about a United that happens all the time, right? We are the exception to the rule. The rule is whatever Gary Neville says, whatever Carragher says, you take pieces of that and use that as sticks to beat Amram with, right? I was watching Saturday Social yesterday, and I know one of the presenters is a United fan. He used to be on Football Daily. I forget his name now. The guy with the ginger hair, and Joe Tomlinson, I think. Joe Tomlinson. And so he was on Football Daily, Euro Football Daily. They used to do like fun content around football. And I used to enjoy watching him. And they had this conversation about should Kobbie Mainoo leave United. And I see their opinions. Everyone's shaking their head like, 18 months ago he started a Euros final against Spain. Bro, what did you was he man of the match? And you guys won the Euros, or did you get spanked in that game? Okay, so
he was pathetic in the game. He was replaced after 56 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly. So if you want to bring in an example of a game where you guys horribly lost, I mean, this is I don't know if this is British mentality or what it is, where you're more happy about almost getting something done than you are about actually getting it done. You know what
It's like the whole country is into edging, bro.
Yeah.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. And I think to your point, social media was literally just a gasoline on the fire. So whatever Liverpool faced back in the 80s, 90s from their ex-pundits, we are facing it times 1,000. I completely agree with you there.
Yeah.
And I'm not even just like I'm not even like happy for the players. I'm just happy for myself and other fans because these ex-pundits these ex-players talk so much crap that I'm just fed up of listening to them. And it's not like I can ignore it, right? It'll be there all over Twitter, it'll be all over YouTube. Anywhere you go, you're gonna see those headlines and you're gonna see those thumbnails people are gonna use. And the worst thing is it's when United fans, right, who honestly I think there are maybe 50,000 United fans who know what's going on, who know what they're talking about. 45,000 of them are members of this community, right? Everywhere else on YouTube that you go on, everywhere, and we are actively looking for the other 5,000 also, by the way, just so you know, to put your mind at rest.
No, we're also open to converters. We're also open to conversions. But I'm just saying. So Rishi, I think the point I guess I'm trying to make is, I've had conversations with Liverpool fans, right, in real life, And when we discuss this season, whenever I talk about Liverpool to them on their face, I don't actually engage in full-on banter. Because when I'm having a personal conversation with somebody, we're just talking football, right? Because I always think of myself as a football fan first. In the same way that I could respect what Klopp had done at Liverpool, is the same way I don't respect what Slot is doing at Liverpool. Because I see him, and first of all, last season, he's very lucky that City had a tail off period. No way they win that league if City are just as good as the 4 years before that, right? And that's the exact time when he came in. If Klopp had stayed, he probably wins that league too, right? With the same players. They were his players, and Salah scoring 29 goals and 18 assists. Are you telling me Klopp's not going to win that league? Come on, man, right? So that's case number one. Case number two is I just look at the ex players, right, that we have that are talking shit about United all day, every day. They don't have anything constructive to say. And when they try to say constructive stuff, it just sounds like Sunday League tactics. When you hear Roy Keane on Sky Sports, this is the third time I'm bringing this up now. When you hear Roy Keane on Sky Sports, what did he say? He said, when we went 1-0 up, why didn't we just shut up shop and try to defend? Bro, that's what we tried to do. That's how West Ham scored. The last 20 minutes, we couldn't get them out of our own final
100%.
third.
Andy, I would
100%.
also say that perhaps the people who we listen to, like Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, all the legends who are currently active in social media or on traditional media, I don't think they have a proper grasp of where the club is and what the club needs right now. Because let's face it, the class of '92 came in after '92. In '92, the only person who did make it through to the first team was Ryan Giggs. Everyone else gradually came in '93, '94, '95. Okay, Roy Keane came in at '93 from Nottingham Forest, and the club stayed on top long after many of them were gone. So until 2013, most of their careers were over. They have not seen the actual rebuild. They have seen the phase after the rebuild. And I would say that dominant phase does not qualify them, even though on paper they may look like the most qualified people to speak about the club. They are not. They don't have that experience of actually going through the rebuild, going through that turmoil, because
went
their
through the
personal experience with the club has always been of success, of dominance. So that's
I
where they
agree.
are coming from, and that's why I think their grasp of the situation is quite wrong.
I completely agree with that, Ayush. But there was like a minute when like Arsenal won, and then like Chelsea won, right? Like Chelsea won back to back. So like Gary Neville
No, but I'm
uh,
saying,
and
Shri, what
Keane
I'm
was
saying is
playing in
from
that time.
92 to
Yeah, I
2013,
agree with that. I agree with that.
Man United did not finish below third. And
Yeah.
if it was
No, there
third, it
was
was like the season's a write-off.
a small rebuild that happened, right? Like after like Jose won twice.
No, but Shri, that is the equivalent of the rebuild that City are having now. That's
Yeah.
not really a rebuild,
No,
right?
no,
Because
no.
you're still
I'm not saying.
relevant.
No,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with Ayush. Like what he said. Like they have not been through like a spell like this. They have always been on good teams, but as like professional players, they should know like how hard it is to win, right? Like how many like great players have not
It's
won,
not
right?
necessary.
Like
It's
Gerard,
not
people
necessary.
like that
Yeah.
have not won.
It's
It's
not
not
necessary.
really. So
But I have a question here. I have a question here. When these people know exactly what is wrong with the club, they were there, a lot of them were there when the Glazers came in, right? Why don't they just say the truth? Why are they going after the players? And why do they say like blanket things like the players?
Yeah, Neville
If
is
you
the only
have
one that says that. Yeah,
if you
Rishi,
have the if you have the balls, why don't you just say that this club has been mismanaged for years and years, right? We are still under the Glazer debt from the takeover, right? These players, these people who came in, they did not buy a midfielder for a manager. They did not buy wing backs for the manager, right?
Gary
That
Neville
should be
even
the
asked
only.
Gary
yeah,
Neville even asked Sir Jim Ratcliffe this question when he interviewed them.
yeah. Neville is. That's
But
why
in the
at least I
when it
have
comes to main
respect for Neville.
conversations, he never says all of this.
So this is what you need to repeat over and over. And if you feel that the players are not of the quality, then say it. Then say, ask why is Dalo still at the club? Ask why is Maguire still at the club? You won't say that because Maguire is your buddy. He's British. So it's not a good look if you call out a English player.
Even Luke Shaw, dude. Even Luke Shaw. Nobody's
Luke Shaw,
talking about the fact that Bruno had his 300th game before Luke Shaw had his 300th game. Bruno's been here for half the time.
yeah. And Gary Neville has never apologized for saying the things he said about Bruno after the 7-0, that he wanted to come off the pitch. He's never apologized for a bald-faced lie. Why should these players go and talk to this bloody idiot when he's lying to them, lying about them behind their back on national television?
Yeah, Keane has said
Didn't
like
even
worse
give an
things about
opportunity.
Bruno.
And these people are all, Bruno's like, oh no, I have to maintain the decorum because Gary's a club legend. I can't, disrespect him on public. He's never once said, Gary, why did you lie about me? If he says that on a live broadcast, Gary Neville is short of words. He doesn't know what to say.
I just want to add too. I see, Rishi, you said, I agree with most of what you said, but you also said that the players, the ex-players, know the foundational issues with the club. I tend to agree with what Andy said earlier. I don't think they have deeper understandings. I think they're stuck in the past. And if you think about it, the requirements to become a pundit, it's not like there's a test to make sure you have tactical understanding. You don't have to go through a period of time to know how like a transition happens. You just have to be a famous ex-player. And we have a lot of famous
I think there
ex-players.
is a test. It's essentially if you're better than Michael Owen, you will put a mic in front of you. So the bar is very low. Is the point?
But
You
yeah,
I
know,
haven't
exactly.
in case you
seen
guys didn't get it.
The bar is
I haven't
so low.
seen him much, but like Owen Hargreaves is like decent. He's not like trashing the club like
I like Owen.
all the time. Like he's at least like trying to give like
Yeah, I agree.
he's trying to
I agree.
analyze,
Owen Hargreaves is the right one. But dude, so here's the crazy thing: Owen Hargreaves, yes, he won the Champions League with us, but he was at the club for how long? Like the
Like
least
3 or
out of
4
all of these
seasons?
guys.
4 years maybe.
Rishi, you're on mute. You're on mute, Rishi.
He was on a 4-year contract, but he practically played only that Champions League season. After that, he was injured for practically the entire period.
Yeah, so we're relying on a guy that stayed here for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, and we
to
basically
talk sense.
ruined his career. We basically like ruined his career too, and he's like the only guy who is like defending, not trashing the club.
Yeah. We got Vinny here. Vinny, how you doing, man? Also, I want to say thank you to Higher Math Darshan for the super chat. Thank you so much, man.
I
You didn't
think
really
it's
put a
pronounced
message in.
Hiremat or Hiremat, one of those pronunciations.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hiremat.
I'm gonna
Hiremat,
drop
yeah.
off, guys. Thank you so much for the.
All right, see ya, Shri.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Sri.
Bye.
See you around. Yeah. Is
Vinny,
this the
go ahead.
same Darshan who's also on the Discord? Darshan, are you the same Darshan?
I think he might be.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. I'm just testing my mic. I've been enjoying your takes actually. I kind of share the same sentiment. Actually, Outer Signal, you took my words out of my mouth. Regarding the ex players. One thing that I actually want to add to that is that we should also not forget that it's now their job, and they have to do something to protect their job as well. So we as United fan base, we have to see them as pundits, not ex-players, whenever they come on Sky Sports or wherever the platform might be. So that's how we need to treat them as such, right? Coming back on the cow anchor thing, I think it's something that Carragher is also fond of doing that, especially to non-British players. They tend to criticize a non-British guy or a person who hasn't been living within Britain for a long time. I will use Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as an example. We could see how reluctant Sky Sports were criticizing Ole. I will mention one pundit's name, that's Gary Neville. He never used, we have to sack him. But with Ten Hag, whenever things went awry, he was the first person to start it. Even with this Amorim noise, he was the first person to also, gaslight it a bit, right? I think it was the match against Tottenham, or I think after the international break, if my memory serves me right? He started, and all the main YouTube channels started picking it up again, And of course, we had the Crystal Palace win, which kind of, shut them up a bit. But then thereafter, whenever United is playing, you see Gary Neville, it's about the system for me. It's about the formation. Look at how they are lined up. And I'm like, dude, do you do same for Fulham matches? Fulham plays the same formation. I never heard you saying same for Crystal Palace. The excuse that they gave for Crystal Palace was, oh, they played on Thursday. But they've forgotten that we also played the Europa League finals or the Europa League last season on Thursdays and ended up on 15th. We never tend to actually bring that one up. We tend to always say, oh, he finished 15th. He finished 15th. Guys, he took us to a cup final. The season was dead and gone when Ten Hag started and Van Nistelrooy also came. It was dead and gone. We should give him a bit of credit, actually, for what he's done. For the Europa League, of course, we gave it to Spurs, which nobody was happy about. But guys, come on, man, we have to be a bit. We have to nuance it a bit, right? When we are talking about Amorim here. So, guys, what I wanted to say when we are having a look at the ex-United players, please let's view them as pundits. Let's attack them as such. If we want to protect our club, excuse me, or if we want to, keep on admiring them as ex-players, so be it. I quite remember I put something on X, and the amount of attack that I actually received, it was surprising. I just, tweeted the ex-players are part of the problem, and I was just working, right? So after I finished work, I saw a lot of notifications on my end. I was like, did I kill someone? So I went. Some people were like, "Yeah, you are too young. You didn't know when these guys. You were not around when you were a fake United fan." We are quick to categorize certain people under certain umbrella, right? And that's the reason why United is actually. Look, yesterday I saw one guy from X. Unai Emery is the best that I would have gone for, and I was like, see, the start that Unai Emery had. If he was at United, you would have been the same person clamoring for his sack. The guy was shit when he started, but now they have.
Dude, his underlying stats now too are shit. He's supposed to be on 18 points. That is like what 12th or 13th in the table, and he's overperforming out of the wazoo. The first good game they had was the one against Arsenal, and let's be honest, that was also Arsenal not being good enough in that game. Right? It's not like Villa played prime Barcelona off the park or something like that. So I agree with you, man. I think the double standards are crazy. And I think even with the worst thing I hear United fans say, listen, I am the captain of the team when it comes to saying every fan deserves an opinion, right? You guys have seen it. I have the call-in show every day. I will welcome everyone to have a discussion, and I'll put in my points and expect you to give your points, and maybe we can meet in the middle, right? I'm happy to do that. But when someone says, we're Manchester United, right? That phrase, I hate it. I hate it because it's so arrogant. It's so presumptuous, right? We need to, we were Manchester United. We were Manchester United. Okay. Yeah. We were Manchester United because of what Sir Alex did over 20 years. And that was despite the Glazers, despite everything else, right? A lot of times we didn't have value in the market. Those seasons that we finished third, wasn't Fergie like 1 or 2 seasons away from winning 7 in a row? I'm pretty sure he was, right? Because he finished second and third a couple of times, and he could have won 7 in a row. So you want to talk to me about Pep Guardiola's dominance? Shove that up your ass, okay? Because let's not talk shit about Fergie. And listen, anyone that wants to say back in my day, listen, back in my day, I used to watch United win leagues. You don't think I'm pissed about that?
Yeah, we are.
Sean,
we are.
How you doing, bro?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm a little worked up.
Yeah, no, for good reason. I mean, I was worked up this morning. I saw fan sentiment from a lot of top reds and people that have fan channels, and it's like, I think there's a little bit to what Vinny said with regards to British protectionism, and then when you see somebody come in from a different league playing a way that you're unused to, you have the only frame of reference that they have towards success is in a scheme that is not valid for today's day and age. I mean, you look at how the game's being won by Arsenal, or how gritty and scrappy, and there's such fine margins between every team within 1 through 20. It shows that this is a more competitive league than they ever played in, regardless of the quality of the top teams that they had to go up against. And to the point about the legends, they have this weird notion that there needs to be some sort of disparaging towards some aspect of today's day and age in order to preserve their history, their legacies, and their achievements. So it sucks because you have players like Scholes, players like Keane, all these players that I grew up with and just were enamored with what they brought to our team, but they're still a bit of dinosaurs when it comes to understanding the conditions that mean that we've fallen off. And like Andy said, it's arrogance. It's this idea that we should be at the top of the league without doing the right things, without taking a hard look, being ruthless. So then once we have a sporting structure that comes in and starts making ruthless decisions and starts judging people based on a much tighter window and tighter leash than having someone like a Phil Jones stay in Carrington constantly on the trainer's bench, it shows that we want change, but then we don't want to have the outcome that comes with making those changes. So it's just overreaction. It's just hyperbole. It's just people trying to display through passion Olympics how angry they can get at the current state of affairs without being understanding. Sorry, your mic's off, Andy.
No, I like Passion Olympics is a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
There was, I think, a few weeks ago, there was one of our ex-players who was suggesting that he could not believe that they haven't suggested Roy Keane to be an assistant manager at Man United. I'm like,
there's a guy in my comments.
But there's Butt and Scholes, and it's funny. You listen to these podcasts, listen to them for the little slice of life content they give for how the club used to be run, like different stories, and it's funny. You listen to some of those stories. If any of those things got leaked out to the press today with their extravagance and them going into, getting thrown out of windows at wine bars and then showing up to pitch the next day, like this would be all over the Sun, Daily Mail, all of these different publications. So they reap the benefits of there being not as much media exposure, and yet they're totally undermining the effect that social media and this whole landscape. And with fan opinion, what Andy said, everyone has an opinion, you're entitled to it. But unfortunately, with that comes just the human nature and psyche that when people see something that is very, very viscerally attracted to them, which is dismay, disgust, and yearning for better, that's a much more attractive thing when you're feeling down, then look at the positive side. Not to the extent of sycophancy, which we see with a lot of just toxic positive Reds, but it's okay to say we're shit, but also okay to say we're still moving upwards. That's a very balanced approach. But if you preach balance, if you preach any type of objective thinking, people are going to say, well, your objectivity just lies within you. I think everyone deserves X, Y, and Z. So it's about, you just got to balance the positives and negatives, especially in these lulls before the game. Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Here's the thing, right? It's being a hater is free.
Yep.
And all of these ex United players have been doing the free stuff since they retired. It's been 10, 12, 15, 20 years for some of
because
these guys.
the things that required objective setting, goal reaching, and different milestones, well, we've seen them crash out horribly in different facets of life. Roy Keane, for all the benefits that he had with Sunderland, and then goes to Ipswich, gets fucking thrown out the gaff. Paul Scholes, don't want to get into that.
Wasn't it? Oldham,
and then
2 weeks.
If I want to be funny, I could be counting the toes on how many mistakes that he's made. I'd be nibbling at them actually. And then you look at Neville, goes over to Valencia.
Defeat. Is that what you're trying to say, Sean?
Tasted defeat. Then you got Neville that's out there that has this whole holier than thou approach to becoming one of the greatest extractors of capital in the British kingdom, then
Yeah.
goes ahead and starts levying his political outset and views while being, one of. Sorry, I don't want to get into politics here because I don't think that's my lane, nor is that anyone else's. But you have these people that have extracted a lot of value from their legacy at Manchester United, and with that should come a lot of responsibility as well. It should come with support and appreciation of the fact of the institution that gave them that opportunity. So they want to talk about how players these days are having issues with respecting the badge. They should respect the badge as well. They should be giving more giving.
Sean,
Yes,
and
go
on
ahead.
this, right, the right person that they can take example from is Jimmy Carragher. You see how that guy defends. I don't like Carragher. Let me state it.
No, it's a great point. It's a great
But
point.
Take an umbrella out
how
before you say anything negative. Bro.
how he defends the badge. Liverpool.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Go and check
He
his reply
any
to Sam.
negative result, he fucks off for a good month. Which, you know what? That's actually, I can empathize with that more, because whenever we have a bad result or whenever we have something, rather than just rush to the presses with Gary Neville on the Monday Night Football podcast, or him having his thoughts with the fucking microphone just stuck up to his nose and he just showing passion, aggression. Where is that? Where is that these days? And you just look and you're just like, this is all just performatism. So it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to understand, but this isn't the same United that you're used to. We're far away from that. So any glimmer of hope or any type of structure that gets us there, you got to accept that we're still not there yet. And this isn't the same thing as saying, oh, we want to have the delusion of having managers in for 10, 15 years. Yeah, that was an anomaly. Anyone can understand that. But ergo, you go on the other side. If you bring the Abramovich method, when you didn't have such strict rules when it came to FFP, you didn't have all this carte blanche to spend, regardless of, because Liverpool, they had accumulated that type of window and breathing room to spend. Look at what happens when you overspend. Look at what happens when you just commit yourself to any type of just ideology. It's always balance, and it's always just being real. The issue is we weren't
Sean,
real.
I also want to point out that, when people use the Abramovich stick to beat United with and saying, look at how they got success by changing managers.
Yep.
If you want to agree, if we can all agree that Sir Alex was the exception to the rule, that a manager can be successful for that long a time, Chelsea and Abramovich were also the exception to the rule, that you can keep sacking managers and be successful, right?
There is a
I just want to
caveat
hear
to
from
that,
Raphael
Andy.
as well.
There's
Let's
a
hear from
caveat to that.
Raphael.
They had a very how do you call it, a group of players who were there for a certain period of time. So no matter who the manager was, there was stability within the players group, right? That's what I wanted.
Yeah, Vinny, let's hear from Raphael. Raphael, how you doing? Are you sitting in a sauna there? Are your headphones going to be okay?
If I go up in smoke, you know why.
There we go. Go on, Raphael. Tell us how you're feeling about the ex-players.
Well, I have to say, I want to say thank you to Pundit Andy and Pundit Rishi. I mean, these guys don't deserve the name Pundit, Pundit is, as some people don't know, that's an Indian word. It means a kind of wise man.
Yeah.
None of these guys are pundits.
Yeah, well, Pundit is a priest, actually. But the word pundit actually refers to like a priest in our culture.
Wasn't Jawaharlal Nehru called Pandit Nehru? He wasn't a priest, I believe.
Rishi's muted. Rishi, you're still muted.
That was because he was wise. So a Pandit is also a wise man and is also a priest.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
those two
referring to
words
the
are
wise
used.
bit.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
So you guys are the wise ones, and these guys don't deserve the name pundit. That's really, it's just. But the other side of this, I think, is that our players are weak. I mean, so what if these guys criticize them? I think it's part of a longer sort of player culture that's developed. And I think that's an important thing that United has sort of allowed players to sort of almost be in a very different way from the Ferguson era. I don't think our players have got it. And this is a wider point. I think, which I mentioned the other day. I think our players have come to a ceiling of what they can do. The players that we currently have. And
Yeah.
This is why after there's 5 good games, maybe 3 wins,
But
2
but
draws.
but Raphael, if I may just interject, Liverpool's
Yeah.
last 6, 7 years, 8 years, whatever you want to talk about it, is their most successful period in the last 30 years, right? And they've taken a long time to come to that level of success. And when I look at Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk can't take the criticism from Wayne Rooney. So even the successful players of this era are struggling to adapt to the constant barrage of criticism that they're getting. And Liverpool, they've been successful, they've been shit, whatever they've been, they never get the same level of treatment that United gets, right? That's where I have the issue. It's not that it's same for all the clubs. In fact, we were talking, I don't know if you caught the stream earlier. I don't know who I'm getting feedback from. Must be
Let me see. It
someone.
might be me.
Yeah, I think it was Sean. But yeah, so I'm just looking at the whole landscape right now, and it feels like when I see our club getting more shit per capita than any other club, it just feels very unfair. And when you see these so-called legends, or they are legends, but so-called United fans who also used to play for the club come out and say things that are derogatory towards the club that actually stop us from getting forward. Because you look at De Ligt, right? Matthijs De Ligt. Paul Scholes was against him before he kicked the ball. He said he's a reject from this club. He's a reject from that club. Who are we supposed to go sign? Tell me, you want us to go get Jaap Stam and teleport him to this time from his prime and put him in the defense instead? Like, who are we supposed to sign given where we are today? And if you keep constantly criticizing these players without having any substance either, he's not saying De Ligt should be doing more progressive passes. That's what we do, right? We say De Ligt should be
Andy,
better progressive
Raphael, and to the rest of the panel, let's not set our eyes too low. I don't think Liverpool are the cream of the crop when it comes to the Premier League. It is City. It has been City, and they have our mantle. So what has City done to claim that? They've recruited like madmen. So if we don't have the same type of competition there, what are we basing our performance gap on? Is it going to be made up for by a manager? Well, we get 2-3 injuries. We have players that can literally not hold up to snuff a lead for more than 20 minutes against West Ham. So, and then you want to talk about like comparatively. People want to say, "Oh, I don't want to hear the squad's not good enough. I don't want to hear X, Y, and Z." Well, look at how many first quality players, like first team starting players, both of those teams have. I'll wager to guess that City's second team and Arsenal's second team all slot into our first team. So for us to be trying to look inwardly and not have a type of external outlook is just foolish. You don't go to competition and say, "Hey, their product's better, their team's better, but we got to make up this gap," and then not have the capabilities, resources, or personnel to do so. So it needs time to get to that point. I think people are just trying to use these old adages that this is the legacy of what we are, so we should be there. It's presumptuous, it's arrogance, and that's how big kingdoms fall over the course of history, by believing they're too big to fail. We have already failed. We're not there.
Just to add to your point, Sean,
I
on
completely agree that this is one of the.
Okay.
I think
Raphael, after you. Sorry.
Oh, so sorry. That's what I'm trying to say in a way that we're focusing on the wrong thing. I don't really care about Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville or Roy Keane. I listen to you guys. You guys. That's why I never even listen to that stuff, because I think that's not. It's just not interesting. But we can talk about it, and we can talk about our players, and we can talk about actually the deficiency in our squad, and our squad is deficient. It's deeply deficient. I mean, we need a squad as good as Manchester City, and then we can start to talk. 2 players at least for each position. And I think that, and for me, fundamentally, that's down to the ownership. They should have got a midfield player in the summer. They should have got I think they should have got Ollie Watkins. I think rather than, I love Sesko. I think he's going to be an amazing player, but we needed Premier League proven players that Amorim talks about. I think we should have got a better goalkeeper. So the club has failed. The ownership has failed our manager. And we're focusing way too much on managers generally.
Yeah.
This club is unmanageable.
I still think jury's still out on Ineos as well. I think if we look at recruitment, it's not. I mean, it's not. It's better than what we had under Woodward and Murtaugh, without a doubt.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
We need to see follow through. We cannot just like hang our laurels on the idea that okay, De Ligt has had a season to really bed in, is doing well. Still not ideal if we're going to that type of progression that we need. Okay, fine, but he still does a job. Mazraoui, Swiss Army knife, fantastic. Dorgu, raw potential. You want to make sure that you have at least a project that's coherent in nurturing that talent. And you look at Euro, best center back talent in the world, but too much impetus has been laid upon him to carry that back line. So there's all these other things. The real miss is Ugarte, for sure. No issue with Cunha, no issue with Mbumo, no issue with Šeško. So beyond that, we still need more parts in order to totally envelop ourselves in that identity. But I want to go back to the City example. When they've had players that they've identified that either are not clean living professionals or they don't really adhere to that standard anyways, but they just don't fit within Pep's understanding, like a Calvin Phillips or Matheus Nunes, although he's been getting,
João Cancelo. João Cancelo was the biggest one.
Yeah, exactly. Biggest one. They shipped them out. And there wasn't this like media narrative of like, oh, failure of a signing, this and that. No, they did it, and then their replacement was already in the door. So they're very quick. They appreciated being from that position of not having that media spotlight on them. Whereas we don't get that type of, we can't afford that because we are the biggest draw in the news. So that's the different perspective that the ex-legends don't consider when they go to punditry, they go to performing all of their emotions. It's like, well, at the end of the day, you're making it harder for anyone, regardless of this manager, regardless of the managers in the past and the ones coming next.
Outer, go
the
for it.
Beginning, yeah, thanks, Andy. Even at the beginning, when Pep first came in, you get a systems manager, and then you have to back them. And I think Shant and Raphael both hinted at that. But people forget that when Pep came in, yes, he had won a lot, so he had bought himself a lot of trust and time. But they had Joe Hart, who was the starting goalkeeper for England at the time. Like a few games into the preseason, Pep decides that this guy can't play a pass out from the back, and they bin him and they get Claudio Bravo. This is who Pep chose, identified and targeted as my goalkeeper who can build out from the back. A season later, they replaced him as well because he wasn't up to the task in the Premier League. So if you get a systems manager who says, I need these, and these pieces, you actually have to take the steps to back them. Otherwise, it's only going to go so far.
I do agree
Great
with
point.
you. But I think, I think with regard to Hart and Bravo, I think Joe Hart was removed primarily for political reasons. I think Guardiola wanted to make a step. Joe Hart was a big player in that club, and I think that Guardiola wanted to make a statement that I'm bigger than
Raphael,
you.
would you say that's like Guardiola's Rashford when it comes to Amorim?
Yes, I was thinking very similar, but I think
Actually, Raphael, I think Guardiola's Rashford would actually be Yaya Toure because that's the one he really singled
that
out.
one too. Yeah.
I think in
I remember
Joe Hart's
Happy belated birthday, by the way. Just want to make sure he's okay out there.
Who?
To Yaya. Because it was the whole scandal was he didn't get a birthday cake. And that's why he fell out with the club. So let's just, if you're out there, Yaya, love you. You're a destroyer. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember with Joe Hart at City, he started in the preseason that summer, and he was playing. And then I recall very specifically, it was one of the preseasons when a bunch of English clubs were in America, and there was a match where the entire first half, Joe Hart would get the ball and he would kick it long, and you could see Pep losing it each time he did that. And I'm pretty sure he got hooked before the game was up. And then after that, City started getting linked with goalkeepers. So Raphael, you might be right, but I do remember thinking at the time that this was a case of this player doesn't fit the system.
Oh, sorry. I heard an interview with Joe Hart, and I think that was why I got that understanding in a way, that it was actually already sort of when Pep came in, he'd already had a kind of conversation.
Yeah, but to be fair, Raphael, Joe Hart is not going to say, yeah, I was shit. That's why he wanted to get rid of me. Right?
So true.
He's not going to say I was shit.
No, but because the rest of his career also kind of petered out once he was dropped by City, right? It didn't really amount to much after that.
Yeah, but I do think he was a better goalkeeper than Bravo, and I don't think Pep.
Well, yeah, but that was
you're absolutely right. You know what?
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that actually lends even more credence to what I was going on about. Shipped out Joe Hart, club legend, what have you, and then Bravo stunk up the gaff, and then had to go through yet another change until they got to Ederson, which was their type of their person that they could at least say.
And even
hey,
after
he plays the
that,
Guardiola way.
John, even after that, a year later when Liverpool got Alisson, I bet that Pep wished he had got Alisson instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny in hindsight. You look at Alisson's career. I think he's the most underrated Liverpool player of that tenure. He brought
said
the
it at the
calm
beginning.
stability. Really?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Because I said Salah is their most important in this last 8-year period. Alisson's the second, and Van Dijk belongs with Mane, Firmino, Henderson, all of those guys. He's not in the same tier as Alisson. But sorry, Sean, continue.
No.
I would say Trent is even higher than Van Dijk for that matter.
100%. And I think a lot of their creativity, Salah exceeded or excelled when Trent was on the pitch. Trent, I think we like to shit on him because of the way that he left. But talk about a really poor way to treat a guy that brought you your first title in God knows how many years. So there's, as much as we want to look at how protectionist United players can be under bad eras, on the flip side, you have a lot of other fan bases that are spoiled, and I think the biggest fear that I have is we would turn into the 90s and 2000s of Liverpool, because those are people that were just history merchants looking back at how they dominated the past, and they had similar effects of how their pundits treated them. Then Klopp came in, the magic manager, and then played with the whole gegenpress, was able to fascinate everyone with the way he played. And Klopp kind of just fizzled out as well. I think he was a little bit overrated with regards to his effect, even though his effect could be attributed to Slot's first title. But with regards to how he changed, I think his time at Liverpool is overrated, but his impact on the global landscape should be fairly rated. But he only gave them one title, so it's not as if there's
You just ignited something in Rishi at 1:30 in the morning, because every time we talk about Klopp, I'm relatively more positive about Klopp than Rishi for sure, maybe slightly more than you too, Sean, because I do agree it's one Champions League and one Premier League title, but in terms of what he was going up against, because Klopp was relentless. I mean, that's
always
time, right?
More of it speaking from, I think,
and also the 115. Let's not forget the 115.
Yeah, of course. But what Semi said, if you're gonna try to find me giving plaudits to Liverpool, keep waiting. But at the end of the day, not my club.
Bro, I just want to read out two hilarious comments. Okay, two back-to-back hilarious comments from RJ. He says, "Bro, I stay away from gambling." And the next comment is, "I think we're gonna win the league next season." I think it's right. I think you've made the right call, man.
I gotta go to Vegas with this guy. He and I think the same.
I think you made the right call about the first comment. Yeah, your priority's good. Anyways, guys, okay, we're 2 hours and 5 minutes into the stream. My wife is off work today, so I need to go spend some time with her. I can't just be here living a single life. So I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Let's do quick 5 to 7 minutes on the Wolves game, because it is tomorrow. As much as we would love for the Liverpool stew to be slow cooked for the next 48 days, It's not going to happen, right? Because we're already moving on. In fact, the Kobbie Mainoo story is bigger than the Salah story. That's the sad thing about it. Tells you which. Okay, yeah. Look at. This is my wife's comment, by the way. She says, "Can I have my husband back now?" Yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry. She heard me. But yeah, so basically, I think for the Wolves game, we need to be worried about this game. I already talked about it. For me, we're gonna like whatever we need to do, man. I don't care if we need to be playing long balls. We need to treat this as the Liverpool game. I don't care what it is. It is away from home. We need to win this game. If I'm being optimistic, I think we can win this 2-1. But realistically, I think it's a draw or a loss. And I want to hear from you guys because I already gave my reaction yesterday. I think we heard from Rishi yesterday too, so I might come to you at the end. And we heard from Raphael too. So Outer Signal, Vinny, and Shant, you guys go. Outer Signal, give me your thoughts.
It's a really tough one. The way we played in our last game, of course, is going to make us all feel a bit down. We tend to be slightly better away from home. I think the pressure of the home fans seems to get to the squad. So I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to follow your generally optimistic lead. I'm going to lean towards a 2-1 as well. I do think the players are capable of bouncing back, but I do imagine that 2 or 3 games after that will drop stupid points again. But for tomorrow, 2-1 to United.
All right, let's go. Vinny? Vinny still here? Okay, we'll go to Shant first. Shant.
Yeah. Listen, guys, we're shit, but we're not that shit. 2 draws in 14 weeks. These guys got no fucking midfield. It's going to be a 3-0 at least, maybe even a 4-1 at the very worst. Yeah, you guys, this is the overestimation of how bad we are.
I love
Cunha gets a brace. He's going up against his his previous club. We got to stop being this like perpetual idea of like these players don't have like some type of like they don't reach down and they say, hey, what are we? Like, come on. Like this is the match to get themselves up for, especially after the West Ham draw. It's going to be a statement game.
Apparently, no Joao Gomez as well tomorrow. So
Ooh,
no,
exactly.
Really?
So I don't have to hear the word audition anymore. Like what are we doing?
Yeah,
Man.
To be fair though, I would have loved to see him. Because obviously when you see them against your own team, you get to like learn a bit more about what they're all about. Like we saw with Baleba, we've already seen Anderson, we've already seen Wharton this season, so it would have been nice to see him.
Yeah, but apparently we're not in for him.
I think that's his level, guys. I think that's his level. He's not a United player, man.
So you mean the championship is his level?
No, I mean he's within the category of your Evertons, the Nottingham Forest, those kind of.
And I'm tired of the premium that we have to pay for teams that are 15 through 20. Like 100 plus to get Elliot Anderson in January.
That's crazy, man.
Know your place.
That's
Anyways,
crazy.
sorry, I digress.
Yeah. Shant's having his Andy.
I'm having a crash
Brighton
out day. I'm sorry, guys.
Andy bitten on Brighton fans. Stay in your lane. Okay, so Vinny, what did you say? What's the? Hold on, let me just read the super chat from Shaylin. Obviously, the GOAT. Says Klopp gave them 2 titles. Slot has proven he's not a title-winning manager, and last season was a fluke. Yeah, absolutely. It's not even funny, bro. It's just the truth. Like,
guys, it wasn't a fluke. Slot is a good manager, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll save that for debate. I think Andy needs to touch grass because you'll get me.
He's a good manager. No, he's a good manager for Everton. He's a good manager for Feyenoord, right? He can manage a scout's team.
He's a Premier League winning manager.
I think his next club is going to be Alkmaar or something. Like that's his
No. I think he goes to Trabzonspor.
Oh my goodness.
No.
He's Fenerbahce coded.
Ajax has no coach now, no manager for.
Wait. Are you saying? Hold on a second. Are you saying Van Persie is let go? Isn't Van Persie a Fenerbahce? Am I misreading that?
No, he's a Feyenoord now.
Oh, he's a Feyenoord. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I don't think Feyenoord takes him back. But anyways, that's enough of bantering.
Well, they would be both fans actually.
Well, I know Vinny's here as a Feyenoord resident, but do you like Van Persie, by the way, real quick, before you tell us about the Wolves game?
He's a learning in the process coach, and I don't think He's like the only for Man United, right? We cannot say because he's a legend, right? So
Yep.
we tend to want to give him time for him to learn on the job.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, if Sheshko doesn't work out, maybe we go get Shaquille Van Persie.
Oh, that boy is good. That boy is good.
He's good. Yeah, you're right. He is good.
Yeah. All right, Vinny, give us your prediction for the Wolves game.
I've seen a lot of people saying, everybody, I mean, all the teams above us have dropped points. United is going to lose, all this blah blah blah, all this chit chat around. Guys, Wolves is not in a good place. We have to win, and the players themselves, they need to actually show up without Amorim telling them, hey, you have to, without him giving them any tactical information, right? They need to also want it. They need to want it. Maybe a slight 2-1 victory for United.
You know what? My problem is, Vinny. I think since Rashford got his MBE in lockdown, I think we have become a very charitable club. So anytime somebody is down bad, we're there to help them out. Okay? That's my problem, right? We're seeing little old wolves there. They're like hungry wolves, right? They're looking skinny. We're seeing their ribs showing, and they haven't eaten anything. 2 draws, it's like, like 2 morsels of dog food, right? Is what they've been feeding on. And they don't have Joao Gomez. It's like the story writes itself. There's like a violin playing in the background, and we're going in there being like, we'll save you guys. We'll keep you up this season. And we'll, imagine, this is what everybody wants to see, right? They want Wolves to do the double over us and then be like the worst team in Premier League history, won 2 games against you guys. Doesn't matter what midfield we have, whatever. Honestly, guys, you know what? Bin all this negativity. I wish we go beat them 5-0 tomorrow. Okay. Yes. Let's go 5-0. I want to see a crazy scoreline where 2 players get a hat trick and we only score 5 goals. And we're going to be like, what happened? What are you talking about? How did 2 players get hat tricks? You know what I'm saying?
I've seen this.
Andy,
it's going to happen.
Andy, I can't believe you believe that.
The 2 hat tricks piece,
I
or the 5-0?
cannot believe it.
Guys, I have a last question, by the way.
Hope
do Ahmad and Mbuemo plays the Bournemouth game?
For the AFCON stuff?
Brentford game?
Yeah, they do.
No,
They do. Mazraoui is not available, but Ahmad and
okay. Right.
Mbuemo are available because their first game is on the 24th. So FIFA said that you have to let them go 7 days
right?
before.
Yeah,
we are saved by 1 day.
Okay. No, I think the match is on the 15th itself.
No. AFCON starts on the 21st.
AFCON starts on the 21st.
No. So FIFA gave a deadline of 15th, right? To release the players.
No, but then they said 7 days.
Okay. All right.
They said 7 days before the first match. So because it's a big tournament with a staggered start for different teams, I think Cameroon and Ivory Coast are playing the first game on the 24th.
Boys, I just want to go get a big win.
I don't
tomorrow,
know the fixtures.
I just want to go get a big win tomorrow. I'm done being realistic. F everybody else. Let's slap up the Wolves. Let's have some wolf meat.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something positive, though?
Yeah, go for it.
You want to hear something positive? I mean, Palace won today and they're 4th on the table. If they had drawn the game, there was a chance that we could have won and gone to 5th. Now that, again, as we've seen, is too much pressure on the team, right? Because they falter in these situations. Luckily, because Palace won, the best we could be is 6th place. That's not too much pressure, I think. In this, it's at par with expectation. I think before the season started, they would have been like, we are like a 6th, 8th place team. Because I'm pretty sure in the locker room, these guys talk to each other. What do you think we could do this season? Absolutely, they talk about it. And then someone's like, I don't know, dude, like it depends. And these are things that never come out, right? Like Luke Shaw is the politician they send out to say that we should be challenging for titles. But realistically, they'd be like 6th to 8th is what we believe we can achieve. And because they believe they can be 6th, I think they will finish 6th. And another thing I can add to this is that if we win, we are 6th. If we draw, we are 8th. So it's better than the 12th place we are at right now. Because we would go above Sunderland. We have scored more goals. And we'd be on 23 points. We would be at par with Brighton on points. That's still like 1 point below Everton, who are 6th. I think this is a game
Rishi,
like Andy said. I hope.
you're making too much sense after I said we're gonna win 5-0, bro. Let's just leave it before before my wife decides to walk out. Okay.
Okay.
And the funniest thing is the gambling addiction guy is gone from 3-0 to 4-0 to 6-1.
That's
Before
my
he
guy.
claims it's a 10-0, let's just
I
end this
need
thing.
that guy. Hey,
Let's just end
we
this
We
need
need
him.
RJ on
We need
Discord.
him.
RJ, dude,
Yes.
join Discord, dude.
Join the Discord, please.
Yeah, everyone that's live right now, please join the Discord, man. We have amazing conversations there. And Nelson must be busy the last couple of days, but he's got time to speak on the Discord. So if you guys want some spicy takes, you'll find it there, even if it's
Is
not.
there a link to that?
Yeah, there should be a link in the description for the Discord.
I think Wolves are
it's
going
also
to
on
win
the homepage.
5-0.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Raphael. From his sauna, he's getting some wisdom over there. And we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time, man.
Guys,
Peace.
drop a comment after the stream closes. Please go and drop a comment. That really helps with the algorithm.
Yes. See you guys later. Peace.
Bye. Take care.